Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Crooked Rows, we're going to do a little farming today. We're going to start our planting, which you just saw me fill the planter up. And then we filled it up with corn. The white powder you saw me add was called talc, seed talc, I think is what it's actually called. It's a dry lubricant for like plastic hoses, so that way the seed can travel down the seed tubes. With that being said, we are going to start planting today, and it is a barely 40 degrees out. So even though it's almost May, I should say, we haven't planted anything at all yet. And so, we are not the only ones, it's everyone probably in the county. It's just been too cold and wet, and so, as far as I know, we are actually going to be the first ones getting in the fields and actually planting. So, with this video, and me being out in the field next to a major highway, we're going to get everyone all stirred up. So I don't know if people are planting because of the soil temperature, which is probably some of it, or it could be that it's just too wet in some spots still. So our biggest predicament that we're running into is the forecast is more rain for the next week. So we kind of made the conscious decision that even though it is, let me get started. So even though it is so wet, well, it's not that wet, we just have some wet spots. We're gonna go anyways because it's just gonna get more wet. And then there's a statistic out there that if you start planting after May 10th, that you start losing yield with corn. So we're gonna kind of say screw the soil temperature and go because it's fairly fit. As fit as it's going to be for the next, at least foreseeable week. So with that out of the way, I'll kind of tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going along these end rows, and I'm going to make a couple of passes. And then once I get that done, I'll start working on the main field. I basically have to outline the field is what I'm getting at. And then I'll start field cultivating at a slight angle. Once I get far enough, the planter can start right behind me. Another thing that goes along with field cultivating right away is that we didn't spray, so I'm not incorporating any chemicals. I'm just making a seed bed right now. So that means we're gonna have the spray over top, which means I'm gonna have to drive with the sprayer over top of what's already been planted, and hopefully let water, either condensation from the air or water from rain, incorporate the chemical. That way it'll seep kind of deeper, a few inches down to where that weed seed would be at, so it can reach the weed seed and kill it. There's herbicides that we're spraying. So I've got my couple passes, which you might have just saw. I don't enjoy starting right next to the road. I'm sure all eyes are on me right now. That is how this agriculture country where I'm at, that's how it works. Alright. So I've kind of outlined the field. I basically have two headlands on either side and then kind of one side, a pass basically. But I have to set my GPS now, and then this will get me going on an angle. So this is like a giant Game Boy. Not even a Game Boy Color. It's just like old school digital. Let's see. Setup. But this is our GPS in this tractor. So I'm setting a heading, and so I'm facing straight east. So it's 90 degrees because a full circle, which north being 0, a full circle is 360. So obviously this way is 90, but we're going at a slight angle, so we're going to go 90 forward. Turn the steering on, and with that brown box, that is basically all I have to do. So there's a little button down here you push. Here, I'll click it off. So you push this button. That means it's on. And I don't have to steer anymore. So now I'm at a 94-degree angle, and round and round we go. So this will be my set angle. Everything else will line up as long as we have everything entered properly in here for a track spacing. And so I'll just be going back and forth until I finish this whole field. Soon, my dad will be running the planter on this side of me. He'll start over here and start going perfectly. He'll actually be going 90 degrees. It'll be perfectly straight, not crooked rows. Yeah, so this here is going to be my little spot for the day. We'll be doing this field for a while, and then I'll just basically hop field to field doing the same thing, and then behind me the planter will follow basically till the end of the day. If you have any questions about like what I was talking about earlier, I don't really know what to explain and what not, because I've been farming for quite a while. I kind of forget what people know and don't know, but I kind of edit things down a lot because I don't really want to sit there and ramble about stuff that maybe no one even knows what the heck I'm talking about. So I guess if you have any questions, you can just throw them down in the comments. I'm pretty good at keeping up with all the comments, but I will be going back and forth if you care to find me. I'll be right here. Alright, behind me, there, maybe? Can't see it on the... There's a planter out there, somewhere. Maybe you can see it. That will be the first corn in the ground for at least our operation, but maybe the county. Maybe not, I don't know. But I have not seen another planter yet. We gotta run in there and fix the monitor. That one's got one of the 2600s, which is more in depth than this Game Boy I got in here. And being a millennial, I'm a tech guy, so I'm gonna try and figure it out. A long ways down, Walker. Can you do it?
Still says it. Shakir, you should have. No, I don't have it. I gotta restart now.
Alright, I'm gonna clear it all.
I gotta back up because now I don't have any seats. I don't have any brush for it. I guess if it don't work, I just go. That monitor's really liquid. We gotta tighten that.
Looks like a screw fell out.
Is there a way we can clear last year? Oh, there it is. What'd you do?
Mapping.
Okay.
Map settings. Clear field. I did clear all farms. So I did everything.
Alright.
So when you switch over to 2022, it should, I don't know why.
I know it is.
Yeah. What do you want it on this page?
Yeah. Yep. See.
Okay.
The guy in the radio just said that farmers should really wait until that soil temperature is a little higher. They said in northwest Iowa, it's 38 degrees.
Yeah.
We'll just do this one. I'll do it. Alright. Yeah, the depth looks good over here.
So I'm out of the ground.
Went off.
We're having troubles with the planter.
Went out, back on.
Just
Gotta be the sensor.
some sensors. So I'm out of the ground with a field cultivator, and I'm gonna go, he's just right here. So I'm just gonna go see what the deal is. I just finished up the entire field here, and we're still having troubles with that sensor. So we're gonna check a few more electrical points on it and maybe swap 2 sensors and see if that doesn't fix it. We're gonna try and kind of pinpoint maybe what's going wrong with it. And then if we can't figure it out, I guess there's a mechanic in the area. And so we might have a mechanic come out and just get it fixed. It's nothing that kind of affects it because it's mechanically driven, you know, via gears. So it's planting properly. The electronic part of it is just not reading it properly. Check the wire. I wonder which one goes to the rate controller. This one? Behind it. Plug it back in. I'll just have him come look at it. So way in the distance over there, where'd he go? There it is, by that tower. Maybe you can make out that tower. It's a tiny, tiny little tractor. Well, it's not a tiny tractor, it's just really far away. But there's another planter out now. We got the neighbors stirred up. So I've made the decision that we are playing a game of when is it gonna rain. And that field we just did is actually drier than I thought it would be. So my field that I am farming this year with my grandpa, it's the next driest field. It's actually probably the most driest field. So since that field was dry that we just did, I decided to just say go ahead and we're gonna do mine as well. So I decided since it's windy today and we can't spray, it's windy tomorrow and we can't spray, we might as well just do it, get it planted, and then I got my seed in the ground and all is well with the world. Those were kind of my thinkings. We share the radio with another family and they're out planting as well. So I think people are going, and that is farming in a nutshell. So I'm to our new field now, and I have to do this little piece right out here. It's just a little 5-acre piece, I believe is what it is. And then the rest of it's on the other side of this acreage. Dang pile of sticks just laying out in the field. Don't really know where they came from. Well, since I'm currently out in my field, it's a good time to tell you that I ended up forward contracting some corn and soybeans. Unfortunately, I didn't get the off the combine price of $7 for corn and $15 for beans. I did it about, oh boy, that might have been 2 months ago now. Maybe it's a month and a half, something like that. But I did get a little bit over $6 for corn and then a little bit over $14 for beans off the combine. And I sold about 1/3 of my crop, so not all of it, but the rest of it I'm not comfortable selling. So I'm gonna have to just take whatever off the combine price is during harvest. probably going to be lower than what I sold it for, but the good thing is I did get a good price. And then the markets dropped and I was like, yeah, but then off the combine went up an entire buck. So I lost out on about roughly 1,300 bucks. Yeah, so that kind of sucks, but I still got a really good price for my first year, and honestly, I can't complain. Essentially, I sold enough to pay off my loan. So all I got to do is fulfill that contract, and then my loan's paid off. So then whatever else I make off the farm, at whatever price I sell it for, I'm going to be able to pocket the rest of that. That's going to be what I have to use to live on and pay bills and what have yous. For those who watch my How Much Do Farmers Make video, I explained everything and how it worked in detail, and I did end up contracting. Here's kind of a crazy thing, is my dad and grandpa never contract. And so I kind of obviously went against my advisors, and my first year, which is rookie stuff, but I just kind of wanted to pay off my loan. So, and I got a good price, so I don't know, I just thought it was a smart move to forward contract. As long as I fulfill it, I'm good to go, which I'm in the field right now and getting ready to plant some corn, so things are looking well so far. It's just the beginning. So that is my life update for you. Stay away from the mouth.
I go in 9th gear, but I go 5 mile an hour. Then when I come to the end, I go in 8th. So when you come to the end, your duals will hit the end row of the dual. And then when you turn around, you literally got to put the planter 30 inches and then turn in and then hit the 2+. That's about what I do. 8th gear, 9th gear, 5 mile an hour, and then 8th gear when I turn around.
All right, I am now in the planter. Location-wise, I'm back at the farm that I'm invested in, and I'm beginning to outline that little 5-acre piece. This is actually the first time we've ever been inside the planter in this channel. Last year I didn't plant at all because it was just, never had time. I had one job and I basically did that job all the way until we were all done. And then once I was done, making a seed bed last year, I began spraying. It was just one thing after another. I just didn't have time. When you're as rusty as I am, it doesn't matter if you have GPS. You're still gonna have some good rows, at least on the ends. Okay, so here we got our population monitor. It's reading per row, so it's 32. So this is kind of the main unit. You can see it's painting a line, and then it'll show you if there's any gaps or if you overlap. And then we got how many acres you've done, how many acres you're getting done per hour, all sorts of stuff that you really don't even care to know. So right now I'm planting via GPS, which is why I don't have any markers down. And the only thing I really need to look for is any streaks in the dirt behind me, because if one of these wheels sees up, it'll leave a streak and it won't cover properly. We're not running in wet conditions, so it should not be a problem. We got some dust behind us, but this field is kind of a puzzle piece and our first time doing it, so it's all just kind of a guess on how it should be planted. Well, guess what? So right here we have corn I'm planting. This hasn't been worked yet. It's bean ground. I'm trying to match up the GPS so that it's perfectly straight, because this isn't yet. And to get it to match up, there's a little gap from where I left off, so I thought I'll just plant half the planter, and then that way from here on out you could just set the GPS, it'll be perfect, you know. Well, it did not work out like that, because apparently if you select left, that doesn't mean you're planting the left side of the planter, it's the opposite. So left means right, and right means left. I was going down here, had half of it shut off, but the wrong half, so now it's gonna be corn, nothing, corn. So I have to go back. I'm gonna set my GPS. So I have to shut off the left to plant to my right now. I still don't like that, but anyways, I'm gonna turn clutch to the left so it plants to the right, and then I'm gonna have to go down the other way, and then it'll match up. So basically we're gonna have a perfect 16 rows on the west side. What we'll have to do is just field cultivate it and try and tear it up, and it'll obviously spray with corn killer too. But that was a stupid mistake, I guess, but I mean, who am I to know that left means right and right means left? Stupid. Yeah, this thing tells you, it says failed, you know, it was going through the rows. And that's why I stopped and then asked, because I kept going and it was only reading rows 9 through 16. And I'm like, that's not right. It should be 1 through 8. I'm like, maybe it's saying that they're failed? Because it kept beeping and it said row off. I don't know. I didn't catch it in time, but I did kind of catch it, I guess. I didn't do the whole thing. So yeah, fun times already. So yeah, right here coming up, you can see that's where I stopped and started. So it's gonna say it's double planted, but it's actually not. So actually what I did was planted this left strip by accident because I selected left, which going the other way, it was to the right. And now I'm planting to the right, but I have left selected. So this is already planted, and then on this side of the white line is not planted yet. So there's gonna be a full 16 rows, which we'll just have to remember it and rip, I guess, to here. Yeah. Rookie mistake number 2. I had to go do a headland, and I was like, oh, I just gotta outline this fence row. I got this. Forgot to set the marker. I had to eyeball it on the way back. God dang. Sitting in the tractor round after round, I got to thinking that since we've bought this farm, since Grandpa bought this farm, I should say, no one's touched this corn side except me. I applied the anhydrous, I just field cultivated it, and now I'm planting it. And more than likely, I'll be running the sprayer too, because I'm usually the sprayer guy. So I even got to decide when we were going to plant it, because I decided I wanted to do it today, and we went for it. You know, I wanted to go for it. I knew it was dry, and it's running great, so glad I did. But now I have about $2,000 roughly sitting in the ground. So I'm in it now. I am folded up and heading out. Walker's kind of had it. 7:30. So I'm ready. I'm ready to be done. So we'll see if I have to replant anything. I think I did okay. Back on this main part where I'm at now, it was 90% GPS. So I'm not too worried about it. The thing is, the road is the part with the small field where I might have clutched when I wasn't supposed to clutch, or didn't clutch where I was supposed to, or something like that, you know. If this is the end of the video, be sure to like, subscribe, follow along with this crop season. I still have the beans to plant and a long ways to go, but you can follow along with this farm and the rest of our farms and see once again whether I make money, lose money, maybe I get hailed out. Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows? Which is why you gotta follow along and subscribe, comment if you have questions, all that good stuff, because it helps the channel. Just the way she goes. Until next time, see you around.